오늘 시사한타는 로스앤젤레스 12지구 보궐선거에 출마한 두 한인 후보를 스튜디오에 모시고 각 캠페인에 대해 이야기를 나눠보도록 하겠습니다. 안녕하세요.
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 네, 지난 4일 후보 등록 마감이 되었습니다. 그리고 이제 6월 4일 선거를 앞두고 있는데요. 각 후보의 소감 들어보도록 하겠습니다. 애니조 후보님, 어떻습니까?
I'm very excited about this race. I was the first candidate to be certified to be on the ballot. And when elected, I will be the first Asian American woman on the Los Angeles City Council. And this is in the city's 169-year history. So I'm very excited.
Thank you. John, how are you feeling going into June?
I'm feeling really good. You know, as soon as I announced my candidacy, I had over 100 community leaders jump on board and support me. I think they understand that I have a proven track record. There's a reason why we have the lowest amount of crime in the city of Los Angeles and CD12 and some of the best schools and the best neighborhoods. And I like to feel that I played a part in that.
Thank you. 이번 보궐선거에는 총 24명의 후보가 등록이 되었습니다. 그렇기 때문에 경쟁이 굉장히 치열할 것으로 예상이 되고 있는데요. 선거 캠페인은 어떻게 펼치고 있는지 알아보도록 하겠습니다. John, you know, registration has closed and there are close to 24 candidates. Did you already start campaigning? What's your campaign schedule?
Well, you know, this campaign started for me when I was a kid. My family came to this area in 1978. I've lived there for 41 years. I started volunteering in this community since I was 13 years old. This is something, I have sort of unique parents. My parents never wanted me to become a doctor, never wanted me a lawyer or an engineer. They always wanted me to go to public service. And this was when my commitment to the community started. And I'm proud to say that after 41 years of living in this community, working in this community, raising my children in this community, I have the opportunity to represent this community. And I'm very excited about that.
Thank you. 애니조 후보님, 어떻습니까? 캠페인은 어떻게 진행하고 계신가요?
Yes, my campaign started already and it's in full swing. My campaign is a very grassroots campaign and I started going door to door, meeting with as many voters as I can. And it's been unbelievable, the support that I'm getting from my neighbors, family and friends, as well as strangers. And some people have told me that, wow, your election is in June and you're already at my door in January. And I said, you know, I'm trying to get to every voter that I can, so I'm starting early.
이번 선거는 24명의 후보 중 한인 후보가 2명이 있습니다. 그렇기 때문에 각 한인 후보가 본인이 왜 적임자인지라고 생각하는지 알아보도록 하겠습니다. 애니조 후보님, 왜 적임자라고 생각하십니까?
I'm the best suited candidate for this race because I have a very diverse background. I have worked in the U.S. government, in the state government, and I have also served as a Water and Power Commissioner for the City of Los Angeles. So I know the different levels of government, and I also know how the City of Los Angeles works. And as a member of the sandwich generation, I've already met my childcare needs and the elder care challenges, and I have a rich life experience, which many people in different sections of the district identify with.
John, why do you think you're the best candidate for CD12?
Well, I think about amongst all the candidates, going back to just having that proven track record. You know, when I talk about public safety, I have something to point to. For example, I opened up a youth center 10 years ago in the highest crime area of CD12. Since we've opened up that youth center, juvenile crime has gone down 40% in our district. We've changed that area. No longer are these kids just we're not just providing a safe place for them to go after school. We're helping them with college applications now. I'm proud to say that our first PALS member from that youth center got accepted to Harvard University this year. So we're truly changing lives. And it's just, I have 20 years of experience of working in the government with 4 different mayors, and I think that's why I'm best suited for this position.
애니조 후보 그리고 존리 후보 두 분 다 12지구의 토박이입니다. 그동안 12지구를 살면서 특징성 그리고 좋은 성향이라고 생각하는 것을 알아보도록 하겠습니다. John, what makes CD12 very special?
Well, I think the people's involvement their deep care for their neighborhoods, their involvement. I'm always still happily surprised whenever I show up at 7:30 board meetings at the nonprofits that I volunteer at. These people are there not because they're going to receive any applause, not because they're going to get any accolades. They're there because they care about their community. And that's what truly makes it special. And also, they take pride in the way their neighborhoods look. I'm a big, supporter of the broken windows theory, but I like to feel that, I contributed to that. If you drive through CD12 and you drive through any other part of the city of Los Angeles, you'll know a distinct difference between the condition of our roads, conditions of our streets, conditions of our sidewalks. And that's because in my 14 years serving this community, we got the most paved streets in the city of Los Angeles. And I'm proud of that fact because I understand the budget system and I know how to bring resources back to this district.
Thank you. 애니조 후보님, 왜 12지구가 특별하다고 생각하십니까?
It's about the neighbors and the communities. We are very resilient people. We went through the Northridge earthquake, the Aliso Canyon gas leak. We went through the recent fires, and we continue to grow and thrive. I lived 5 years in North Hills, which is another part of our district, and I have lived in Porter Ranch for 25 years. And so I want to make sure that all the people in our communities continue to feel that they can live and thrive.
Thank you. 이제는 그동안 12지구에서 어떤 활동을 해왔는지 알아보도록 하겠습니다. 애니조 후보님, 그동안 12지구에서 어떤 활동을 했습니까?
So I moved to Porter Ranch to send my children to Castle Bay Lane Elementary School. And so while my children are growing, I volunteered at my children's school. So I was a parent, Korean language Korean language speaking parent at Castle Bay Elementary School. I was also elected to the Parent Advisory Council at Nobel Middle School. And with childcare and elder care challenges and also having a career, I had a very limited amount of time. So I decided to follow my children to different schools and volunteer there.
Thank you. John, how have you engaged the diverse communities in CD12?
Well, I've engaged them, and as you can see from my endorsement list, I have people from all different walks of life, all different religions, all different corners of CD12. I've engaged them because I think they've seen throughout my time in CD12, whether it's as a resident or whether it's working in the council office, they've seen my commitment to this community. And I've done my best to reach out to all the different communities to make sure they're part of the greater community of CD12. Most of all, a lot of that comes from being, like Annie said, being involved with my children's lives, their hockey practices, their PTAs. I'm a proud member of my kids' schools' PTAs and have been very active, not only in my own PTA, but have raised over $1 million for several different school PTAs, over $1 million, I think, to date, to help them get the things that they need to help children succeed.
Thank you. 이제는 각 후보에게 그동안 어떤 식으로 한인 커뮤니티를 위해서 활동해 왔는지 알아보도록 하겠습니다. John, what are some of the activities that you've done for the Korean American community?
For the Korean American community, I mean, wow. I've not only reached out to different businesses to help them through the different arduous process of the city of Los Angeles, but I've engaged them with leadership programs. The leadership program that I started that shows kids how the municipal system works and also teaches them leadership skills. Not surprisingly enough, most of my slots are filled with Korean American children. But one of my proudest achievements in the Korean American community is my work with the Korean Senior Citizen Center in Northridge. Unfortunately, you don't hear much about the activities that we do in CD12. We don't get the same sort of coverage that Koreatown does. But I've helped raise, I believe to this date, over $300,000 for the Korean Senior Citizen Center. I've helped them build a new roof. I've helped them, build new air conditioning, new heating units, paving of their parking lots. And these are things that, I don't think if I wasn't in that office and in that position, I don't know if that Korean Senior Citizen Center knows to come to the government. And so what I did is I reached out to them.
Thank you. 애니조 후보님, 그동안 한인 커뮤니티를 위해 어떤 활동을 해오셨습니까?
I started getting involved in the Korean community back in 1976. So I started community service in Koreatown before it became a Koreatown. I've worked with people like William Min, Jang Ho Sang, In Hwan Kim, Laura John. I've worked on the Free Charsuli Committee. I've worked at the Korean Youth Community Center, Wilshire YMCA Program Center. And I'm very proud of the fact that I'm very bilingual and bicultural. And as such, I had an obligation to represent Koreans to the Asian American community and to the mainstream community. And I'm very proud of my track record since 1976.
현재 로스앤젤레스 12지구에도 노숙자 문제가 굉장히 심각하다고 알고 있습니다. 하지만 이 외에 12지구의 다른 가장 큰 이슈들에 대해 알아보도록 하겠습니다. 애니조 후보님, 노숙자 문제 외에 다른 이슈들이 무엇이 있습니까?
Right now we are experiencing traffic congestion, and it actually speaks to the bigger issue of transportation. So we continue to build houses in certain sections of Porter Ranch, and so with the increase of development, we need to also have a master plan to accommodate for a smooth traffic flow. And because that has not been done, we continue to have, some of our neighbors continue to have more congestion than before. Another issue is parking. California State University in Northridge is in our district, and there is sizable parking problems in that area. And so I want to deal with traffic congestion and find ways to ease the situation. I also believe in sharing the road. So I want to make sure that while we put in bike lanes, we also have a plan to accommodate people in cars, on bikes, and on foot, and make sure that everybody has safe and clean streets.
Thank you. John, other than homelessness, what are some of the other major issues in CD12?
You know, I think we enjoy a nice quality of life in CD12, but unfortunately homelessness is the major problem and one of the only major problems in CD12 that we need to tackle. But this community, you know, continues to surprise me. We've opened up a 90-bed transitional housing center right in the middle of Northridge, and it's been a huge success. It's been a huge success because from the very beginning, we engaged the community. We brought them in. They've been a part of the process. And now we have over a 90% success rate of people not ending up back in the streets. And that all funnels down to public safety. While we need to be compassionate to the homeless population in our district, we've been doing a great job at lowering those numbers. CD12 is actually one of the few districts where homeless numbers have gone down in recent years. But we also need to be compassionate about the homeowners and their neighborhoods. And so we need to address those issues also and ensuring that CD12 stays the safest place in the city of Los Angeles.
현재 로스앤젤레스 12지구를 보면 샌포난도 밸리, 포터렌치, 그라나다 힐스 등 지역의 아시안 유권자 비율이 약 20%가 됩니다. 한인 그리고 아시안 유권자들에 위한 어떤 공약을 펼치고 있는지 알아보도록 하겠습니다. John, what are some of the pledges and commitments that you're making to the Asian and Korean American communities in CD12?
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but CD12 actually has the largest API community in the city of Los Angeles. Approximately 20%, so 1/5 of our population is Asian American. And what I think, one of the pledges that I have to make is we need to engage those communities in a way that they become, part of the voting process. We need to increase our numbers, and it's something that it's a two-way street. I'm willing to reach out to those communities to help engage them more, but they also, the leaders of those communities, I'm hoping, will partner with me in getting more people registered, more people, part of the political process. Because, one thing that I know I will do, because it's something that I've done the whole time that I've, represented this area, is engage the Korean American community to have a seat at the table, so that they have a say in what happens in their community. So they have a say of what happens in, the city of Los Angeles.
Thank you. 애니조 후보님, 아시안 유권자들에 위한 어떤 공약을 펼치고 계십니까?
So in our district, the biggest percentage of Asian population are the Filipinos, and then Koreans are second. What I like to do is to install a Korean language hotline so that anyone that lives or works in the city of Los Angeles can call in Korean and to find out how they can get the city service. And so if the caller is in my district, then I will make sure that our staff is able to handle their requests. But if they happen to be outside of our district, then obviously I can't say this or that, but I would like to refer them to the appropriate office so that we can help them navigate through city services and get the most help that they can get.
이제는 12지구 주민들을 위한 공약을 알아보도록 하겠습니다. 애니 후보님, 12지구 주민들을 위한 공약 어떤 것들이 있습니까?
I promise to be available and accessible. I want to be the council person that serves all people and not just the top 1% of the district. And one of the things that I like to do is to update the emergency preparedness plan because with the recent fires, we learned that some people did not even get the emergency alerts. So I'd like to find out how effectively we can update the program so that we can disseminate that information to multilingual residents, and including people who may not have a cell phone, such as senior citizens and the homeless.
Thank you. John, what are your promises and commitments for all the residents in CD12?
Well, I think that, to continue what we've been doing, I think a lot of the programs that we have in CD12 have been proven to be successful. We've, I keep going back to, the quality of life issues. We have the lowest amount of crime. We have the best neighborhoods. We have, some of the highest performing schools. But, there's always, room to do more. And I think one area, that we need to do better at is reaching out to the churches, the other religious institutions, and making sure that they're part of our process. I'm sure there's a lot of things that we do in government that those religious institutions can help us with. And I'm sure there's a lot of programs that they run that I think that we can help them with. And so that's one of the things that I promise to do.
Thank you. 12지구의 미치 잉글랜더 시의원이 지난 2011년부터 12지구 시의원으로 활동해 오다가 작년 12월에 사임을 했습니다. 그동안 봐온 미치 잉글랜더 시의원에 대한 의견을 듣도록 하겠습니다. John, you've been the chief of staff to former Councilmember Englander. What are some positive qualities about the former Councilmember?
Well, I think some of his best qualities were, keeping and instituting some of the things that his previous predecessor, Greg Smith, instituted that were programs that really set this community on the right path. And I think Councilman Englander did a great job at making sure that we don't fix something that isn't broken, and to continue some of those programs. But really, him engaging in the schools was something that, is so important to me. He came up with an amazing program called Making Movies That Matter. It's a movie program that we opened up to all public schools, all private schools, and being in the backyard of Hollywood, we thought, with all the cuts to arts funding, that it was important to, maybe introduce children to their first experience either behind or in front of the camera, and to let them be able to express, their experience and things that are important to them, and which culminates in a film festival that we have at Cal State Northridge. And those are just some of the things that that I saw his commitment to is really working with the youth of our community.
Thank you. 애니조 후보님, 미치 잉글랜드 시의원의 장점 무엇이라고 생각하십니까?
So I think one of the things that he did well is starting the Neighborhood First initiative, and it's something that I would consider continuing because it really works, and it's an opportunity for the district to be proactive in servicing the needs of the district. And as you know, sometimes it's hard to get city services to come out on time, and so Neighborhood First initiative I think is a good one. And another thing is that we have good programs in place. However, we have a long way to go because the demographics of the district continues to change and the needs are changing. So I want to keep up to date, and I want to work with our residents, our grassroots outreach, and make sure that we hear the needs and concerns of the district.
감사합니다. 반대로 미치 잉글랜더 시의원과 차별화되는 본인의 장점 알아보도록 하겠습니다. 애니조 후보님, 반대로 미치 잉글랜더 시의원 장점도 있지만 본인이 갖고 있는 장점 무엇이 있습니까?
Of course, first of all, I am a woman. And I am not one who is inheriting the office. Traditionally in CD12, every staff member had a chance to inherit the office, and it just kept on going. And so we did not have a chance to get a political outsider into the office to promote transparency and accountability and inclusiveness and whatnot. Another thing that I would say to you is that I will not tolerate or condone any kind of sexual harassment or abuse in the workplace. And as you know, John Lee was, the city had to settle a claim, sexual harassment claim on his behalf using tax dollars, and that is not something that I will tolerate.
Thank you. John, what are some strengths that distinguish yourself from the former council member?
Well, allow me to address first, I thought that, address Annie's, last comments. Annie likes to bring up this case that if she would do her homework, would notice that the suit that was filed was dismissed by the courts, and the settlement with the city was on a totally different matter. We have the case numbers to show you, and that's just a smear campaign, because in reality, 6 months ago, so many of the different candidates in this race were just enjoying their lives, sitting on the couch, enjoying the hard work of so many of our community members. And I think that, it's an easy smear tactic to go towards that instead of addressing the real problems of CD12.
I disagree with that.
So
I disagree with that because $75,000 of city dollars was used to settle your claim. And so I don't think this is a smear campaign. This is a matter of fact.
No, the matter of fact is that the suit against me was dismissed by the courts.
So was there a settlement
Without
made on your
prejudice.
behalf? $75,000 of city money that was used?
The $75,000 was with the city on a separate matter.
Separate matter or not, was there a settlement that
On
city
a s-
paid on
a
your behalf?
on a separate matter, but the suit against me was dismissed by the courts.
Okay, so have you repaid the city $75,000?
Again, the suit against me was dismissed by the courts, and the settlement was on a different matter. And this again, this is just another, combative tactic. The people, because they don't want to face the fact that for the last 15 years, I have been solving, the tough issues of this community. Building homeless shelters, building youth centers, providing after-school daycare programs as part of being a board member on the YMCA. These are things I'm very, very proud of. I have a 20-year stellar record with the city of Los Angeles. I've never had a single complaint other than, the ones that Ms. Cho brings up that against me by any of my staff members. I've had an incredible career in the community of representing it, and that's why I think you'll see leaders like Monica Rodriguez, a council member, a woman who's come out to support me. The Granada Hills, Chatsworth, Northridge women's clubs, because they know the person I am. And the presidents and past presidents of those organizations, have chosen to, support me because they know who the real person is, and they're not going to let one person, besmirch what has been a 20-year career of serving this community.
Okay, let's move on. I'm going to give each candidate their closing statement to address each of the issues that were present today. 이제 다음 질문으로 넘어가도록 하겠습니다. 전 시의원 미치 잉글랜더 시의원은 LA시 의회에서 유일한 공화당 시의원이었습니다. 최근 여론조사에 따르면 12지구 민주당 유권자는 44%, 공화당 유권자는 30% 미만으로 나타났습니다. 공화당 유권자가 줄어들고 있는 추세에 대해 각 후보에게 질문을 하겠습니다. John, former Councilmember Englander, was a Republican, the lone Republican member on the City Council. What do you think about the dwindling number of registered Republicans in CE12?
Well, the council race is a nonpartisan race.
Correct.
I don't know a Republican or a Democrat that it makes a difference when you come to filling potholes or for funding LAPD or for solving homeless problems. These are issues that are important no matter what side. But I'm proud to have the support from people from both sides of the aisle. State Senator Wilk, who's a Republican, has endorsed my campaign. Again, Councilman Joe Buscaino, former LAPD officer, Democrat, has endorsed my campaign. Democrat Monica Rodriguez, one of the only women on the city council, has endorsed my campaign. So, I don't think a liberal or conservative view has ever, filled a pothole. I think it's something that, and there's a reason why, city politics are a nonpartisan race.
애니조 후보님, 공화당 유권자가 줄어들고 있는 추세에 대해 어떻게 생각하고 계십니까?
So this is actually good for me because I'm a lifelong Democrat. And I think that the trend reflects the changing demographics in the district. And so we need to make sure that the representation also reflects the diversity in our district. So many people have moved into the district in the last 20 years. And so and they tend to be younger families and younger people, and they tend to be Democrat. And so that is the trend why we have more Democrats registered. And I welcome it.
Thank you. 이제 다음 질문으로 넘어가도록 하겠습니다. 예비선거와 본선거에 대한 선거 전략 알아보도록 하겠습니다. 애니조 후보님, 선거 전략 어떻게 진행하고 계신가요?
My strategy is to go grassroots to the primary and grassroots to the general election because it's all about connecting with the individual voter. I want to reach every voter I can. I want to go knocking on their doors. I want to find out what is happening in their neighborhood. I want to find out how I can be of service to them. I want to know how I can be of service to everyone. I want to make sure that we have a district where we do not have underserved communities and neighborhoods.
Thank you. John, what is your path to victory?
Well, when I was one of the only candidates to submit over 1,500 signatures to get on the ballot. I didn't have to pay a service or a petition gathering service to get this. I had over 70 community members, come and volunteer to help me, get on the ballot. And I think that speaks to, my position in the community, my commitment to this community, the amount that I care about this community. I assure you that there's no one in this race that cares more about CD12 than I do. And I think my path to victory will, again, be working with all those community groups like I have been for so many years. And with their support, I will bring this to victory.
2020년 센서스 인구조사 이후 선거구 재조정이 이루어집니다. 한인타운 선거구 단일화 목소리가 높아지고 있는데요. 이것에 대해서 알아보도록 하겠습니다. John, although Koreatown is not within CD12, there are big voices within the Korean American community that Koreatown should be within a single council district. What is your position?
Well, I've always thought that we should keep communities together. I don't feel that we need to, it sort of dilutes the voice of that community. We've done a great job in CD12. We've kept communities for the most part, whole. Granada Hills, Northridge, Porter Ranch, Chatsworth, Sherwood Forest, West Hills, and I think that the Koreatown deserves that same sort of consideration. Going to the 2020 thing because census, because I think it's important. I think it's an important voice, and I think that the easiest way to try to make that happen is by electing another Korean American elected.
Thank you. 애니조 후보님, 12지구 안에 한인타운은 없지만 현재 한인타운이 여러 시의원 지구로 나눠져 있거든요. 이거에 대해서 어떻게 생각하십니까?
I've always advocated for a unified Koreatown district. Right now, Koreatown is in 4 different districts, and it's very difficult for our community to have a loud voice because we're split up into four different districts. So instead of having a tiny voice in 4 districts, I want to have a big voice in 1 district. And I think that's very important, and it also speaks to the ability of the Korean community to support elected officials in fundraising. It has been portrayed that the Korean American community is a walking ATM because we have to support so many elected officials and their causes. And we and when we need help with city services, we don't get the kind of help in a timely manner. And so it addresses 한국말로 하면은 밑빠진 독에 물 붓기라고 그렇게 지금 사람들이 얘기를 하고 있거든요. So I want to make sure that we continue to fight to have a unified Koreatown district.
감사합니다. 마지막으로 KBS 아메리카 시청자들과 그리고 12지구 유권자들에게 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다. John, I would like to give you an opportunity to provide your closing statement.
Well, thank you. I'm very excited about the opportunity to run, to represent this area that I grew up in. I plan on keeping this about the issues, keeping a positive campaign, not attacking any of my opponents, and making sure that we're talking about the issues that are important, to this district. I'm a son of two immigrant parents. I've seen their struggles. I know the struggles that they had coming to this country, and those are the things that truly influenced me. My father came here in the 1950s. My mom came here in the 1960s. They met here in Hollywood. They've experienced the American dream, and that's something that I think that every child in our district deserves, and why so many of the programs that I work on are youth focused. And I'm mostly proud that right off the bat, so many different people from all over the community have come out to support my. If you look at my website at johnleecd12.com, you'll see an extensive list of public safety leaders, education leaders, veterans, women's groups, PTAs that know me and know the person I am and support me for that reason. And I'm actually excited to announce that I'm the first candidate to receive an endorsement from a law enforcement agency. Today I received the endorsement from the Los Angeles Airport Police Association. And I'm very proud of that fact, and hopefully that's the first of many of the law enforcement, because I think they've seen my dedication to public safety in the city of Los Angeles.
Thank you. 애니조 후보님 마지막으로 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
Thank you. 시사한타 시청자 여러분, 또 12지구의 유권자 여러분, 이 기회를 통해서 여러분들께 인사를 나눌 수 있어서 반갑습니다. 6월 4일 보궐선거일에는 여러분들께서 아주 소중한 결정을 내리실 날입니다. 한인 후보가 지금 2명이 뛰고 있습니다. 한 사람은 시리홀에서 17년 경력으로 지금 나가고 있고요. 저는 다양한 경력을 갖고 있는, 또 인생살이의 풍부한 경험을 갖고 있는 이민자의 사람이고, 또 여러분의 딸입니다. 코리아타운과 같이 성장해온 사람입니다. 그래서 여러분들께서 앞으로도 계속 현명한 결정을 해주시리라고 믿고, 앞으로 계속 관심 가져주시고 또 지도 편달 부탁드립니다. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. 앞으로 남은 선거 기간 동안 공정한 선거 캠페인 부탁드리겠습니다. I wish both of you the very best and look forward to a positive campaign. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
오늘 12지구 시의원에 출마한 두 한인 후보들의 이야기를 들어봤습니다. 무엇보다 이번 선거에 한인 유권자들의 참여가 중요할 것입니다. 두 한인 후보들을 통해 이번 선거에 대한 관심이 한인 사회에서 크게 일어나기를 기대하겠습니다. 12지구 시의원 보궐 예비 선거일은 6월 4일입니다.